Today I'm going to talk about this video right here that you've probably seen online, and I also want to hit on this headline because imagine if 70% of your colleagues were worried about losing their job on a daily basis. That is a scary number, right? It's more of like a nightmare, but it's called layoff anxiety and it's really happening. Let's dive into what is going on and figure out how we can avoid this. From tech to healthcare to finance, it is affecting everybody. Nobody is immune. But what we really need to do is figure out what this fear is, what's driving it, so we can get ahead of it. And, I really want to dive into the numbers to figure out what is going on. So MarketWatch just recently did a survey, and they interviewed a good amount of the U.S. workforce, and they looked at people across all the sectors. What they found out was actually pretty hard hitting. 70% of U.S. workers are bracing for potential layoffs. That's a huge part of the workforce, y'all. And what's really worrying is that this isn't just your usual suspects in volatile industries, things like that. It's not just tech. For instance, this is across the board from health to finance, entry-level jobs, you name it, it's happening. This is a really worrying number. So let's break this down. Okay, so 70% of people are worried about the job market, all right? And they're worried about their own jobs. That is 7 out of 10 people have job insecurity. So this is a really big number. This is really worrying because at the end of the day, what this is showing is uncertainty in the job market, and it's showing the instability of the workforce. Next, we have 12% of workers that are actually worried about losing their job in the next 6 months, and their worries are not necessarily unfounded. We're looking at company performance, industry trends, and maybe even insider information like blind, or perhaps even the workers got put on PIP. This does not do anything to show us that job security is a thing. It looks like it is starting to evaporate, at least in people's minds. And the fact that we can actually start to see some of this kind of stuff happening with all of the mass layoffs is a worrying sign. In fact, 24% of workers that are currently employed are looking for a job. And this is actually quite worrying because, yes, it sounds like they're really proactive, and that's really great. But what is it doing to impact the current job market and the unemployment levels? It really raises the question on the true accuracy of the job market statistics that we are given every month. Here's another eye-opener. Gen Z and Millennials are going to make up 58% of the workforce by 2030. This actually blew my mind when I heard it a few months ago. I didn't believe it at first. I've done some studies, and this is accurate. Gen X and Boomers were out of there, right? But, here's the thing. 67% of Gen Z and Millennials are actually worried about layoffs, and it hasn't been such a growing segment. This is a really, really crucial time to get adaptability and stability right. So why is it happening? Well, there's a lot of factors in play right now, from economic uncertainty to shifts in demands in markets. And of course, you have the whole AI automation thing that companies are starting to put into place. And I know a lot of people are really worried about it because the media is saying, oh, AI is here to take your jobs. I really don't think that's going to happen. Yes, jobs are changing, but it is just a case of evolving jobs and figuring out, what your industry is doing. As they're starting to put in more automation through AI, what is your job going to look like in the next several years? And that is kind of the key that I want you to start thinking about as you go through job searches and things like that, and even just trying to figure out what you might want to do next in your career. Look at the industries overall. So something that caught my attention earlier this year, I think it was in January, it was posted on TikTok, and you've probably seen this video, is Brittany Pietsch. And she actually filmed herself getting laid off while on a Zoom call with somebody other than her manager or her boss. Totally took her by surprise, kind of took the internet by surprise. We kind of all knew this was going on, and we've already seen mass Zoom layoffs and things like that. But this whole concept that 70% of people are worried about a layoff, it is all a part of this. Waking up every day going, is there just going to be a random email that I'm going to get in there? Am I not going to be able to log in? Is there going to be a Zoom call scheduled and they say, hey, I'll meet you in 30 minutes. We have to talk. And these are not really great things to increase productivity in companies. So something has got to give. But in the meantime, what this can do for you, if you are part of the people that are having this layoff anxiety, which is totally founded, what you need to do is really focus on how you can pivot, upskill, reskill, and figure out where your industry is going, because those are the best things that are going to help you have control of your job search. And, if you are one of the people that have been laid off, I've actually made a video for you because one of the worst things that can happen besides getting laid off is getting ghosted by recruiters. And if you've been in a job search before, you know that happens. And so check out this video right here. I think you're really going to find it interesting. There's a lot of helpful tips to figure out what is going on if you are not hearing back from recruiters after applying through job ads, and ways to get around that so you don't have to deal with that so much anymore. But overall, here's the twist. While 70% are bracing for potential layoffs, 30% aren't. So, what we need to do is figure out, what are they doing differently? Well, from what I'm seeing, they are learning to pivot. They're learning to adapt. They are changing careers, changing industries, things like that, utilizing their experience and their skills and their metrics and accomplishments and all those good things into different areas so that they are just ready. They're not anticipating layoffs because they can just keep moving forward. And that's something that we need to do as a whole so that 30% number increases, 70% decreases massively. The truth is we can't control the job market, but we can control our future and our careers. And that is what we need to focus on. So in the meantime, I want you guys to stay strong, stay smart, stay connected. Drop a comment below. If you've been part of a layoff, how did you get past it? What happened? And, any helpful tips that you can give anybody else, always going to be great. You guys keep rocking your job search, and I will catch y'all later.